Boo! At the open, all-time high for the S&P 500.
It's your boy Jimmy.
Now, what's worth doing is worth doing for money.
Straight from y'all street to Wall Street.
Anybody tells you money's the root of all evil, doesn't make up happen.
Dudes wake up, hope their girl turned on so they can get a little bit. Only woman in the morning, I wanna turn on this. Becky quick. While the average man looking at it's sad like she fine as it. I'm over here looking at tails and whips like 5-6. I left the mayhem for the market. Now I don't want a dope spot, I want a stop pick. I know that booty got dry, triggered my stop losses, but I ain't got time for your wop. My V-wops crossing. Rich with hot V's and pushing hot keys. Strategy and plans to make grand. Still in my wife beater. Batman pajamas, house slides, and about 5 hot picks for the day. Cause I like the way the Dow bounce. 4 hot dips on call, so I got options. 2 with a lot of volume, 1 with a double bottle. Now I know dumb money don't understand. Am I talking about my trade or just thinking with my MACD? You see, we different in the way we move. You move with kittens and your dog. I move with bears and bulls. I got a green thumb, grow with the marijuana. Waking up with the fun, some commas. Jump out of bed, big profits. Eat my bacon and eggs, big profits. Light up, watching them candles, profits. While I'm still in my sand, making profits. They used to watch me move them packs and stop. Now I watch moves in the NASDAQ. Profits. Used to run from the ATF and them cops. Now I run down ETL, making profits. I jump out of bed, make profits. Eat my bacon and eggs, make profits. Light up, watching them candles, profits. While I'm still in my sand, making profits. See, me and Jim Cramer been talking mad money. Said today I'm taking a risk. They got the feds coming, but I got support here with me. I call a short squeeze. You get the drop, she pull the trigger, and abort these. If she stay on my watch list, I might have to wife her. But I know better. I'm a true trading group lifer. Call up the Wolf of Weed Street. It's time to flip some profits. Go ahead, be hawking. Get your spot here. I'll double top that in the head and shoulders. Hit him up with this resistance. Watch him roll over. Cause I see John Wicks in contract. If I say I make $1 million a day, well, that's a large cap. You moving average, that's why you get crossed. Get split, get delisted, and knocked off. and I'm setting the whole block off. I'm buying GameStop and selling them roadblocks off. Jump out of bed, make profits. Eat my bacon and egg, make profits. Light up, watching them gain, make profits. While I'm still in my sand, making profits. They used to watch me move them packs. Now I watch moves in the NASDAQ. Used to run from the ATF and them cops. Now I run down ETF. Hey, my family. Hey, go, what we doing, my man? Hey, make profits. Hey, Shug, Mike, what we doing, dog? Hey, make profits. Yo, Wolf, Professor, what we doing? Hey, make profits. That TTG money gang, making profits. We some snipers.
Hey, yo, what's up, everybody? What's going on, folks? Welcome to the True Trading Group live stream. My name is Michael Edward Paranati. I go by Michael Edward. I'm the co-founder and head trader at True Trading Group. Welcome to the live roller coaster ride of a day today in the markets. The TGD fam all over it. Big day. Big day on the puts in the morning, and then the futures trading group catching the long in the afternoon. Just an unbelievable day. Tons of volatility, tons of direction, tons of momentum. Tons of opportunity, tons of volatility. Things that we love most as traders, volatility. And you got a ton of it. And it's just getting started. You got more coming tomorrow. Tomorrow after the bell, you're going to get some of the most important earnings reports. I think that obviously Nvidia is going to be the most important. Then you have Salesforce also giving you some insight into AI hardware and AI software. Salesforce, big portion of sentiment for AI software side. And then obviously Nvidia, huge on the AI hardware side. We got some earnings out today that are really moving around pretty wildly. And there's a couple of stocks that have earnings right now after the close that I am very interested in because I'm actually a shareholder of, and one of which I think is actually leading to a pretty promising setup for an ad in the long-term portfolio. So we're going to talk all about that. True Trading Group, guys, is the fastest growing and highest rated premium online educational platform that combines university level trading and investing courses with premium stock market tools. We do live workshops, individual mentorship and coaching for stocks, options, crypto, and futures. We day trade, we swing trade. We also cover long-term portfolio investing. There's literally something for everybody here at True Trading Group. It's not just me. There's 8 other professional traders that are moderators at True Trading Group that share their screen with you during the day, that trade with you live, answer questions, tell you when they're in, when they're out, provide their market commentary and analysis all throughout the trading day. We're not gone after an hour and two and you're left to fend for yourself. You guys will get all of the trade alerts and all of the analysis and all the questions and answers and everything else for the entire trading day here at True Trading Group. Now, you might be wondering why you should listen to anything it is that we why you should listen to anything it is that I discuss on this YouTube channel. It's not because I believe that I'm the world's greatest trader. I say that all the time. I don't believe that I am. The reason why I think I should pay attention to the stuff that we talk about here is that I didn't figure this stuff out on my own by watching YouTube videos. I began my career working at T3 Alpha Fund in New York City, my first job out of college. While there, they had me go through a training program before they let me touch $1 of the fund's money. Then 2008 happened, and that was the Great Recession, the big stock market crash. But also the same year, I received one of the firm's Trader of the Year awards. You fast forward now, and I'm the co-founder and head trader of True Trading Group. And along with my team of 8 other professional trading mods and over 30-person staff, we have helped thousands of members from all over the world to reach their goals. We have over 10,000 members in 114 different countries. Truly a global community here at True Trading Group. And for those of you interested in AI, look no further, right? If you guys are looking for AI trading assistance and everything else like that, True Trading Group is actually the recipient of the 2024 Benzinga FinTech Chairman's Award for Best AI Analysis Tool. It is nice to see industry leaders like Benzinga, there's my business partner and I, receiving that award at the Benzinga FinTech Awards ceremony in New York City a couple of months ago. It's nice to see industry leaders recognizing what it is that we are doing with AI, implementing that technology onto our platform to help our members make money. Okay, Mari, which is our AI tool, has been a crucial part of our members' development and our members' profitability. And the vast majority of our members are doing well and are making money. Not all of them. I have over 10,000 members. Of course, all of them are not going to be killing it. I'm not going to lie to you and pretend like that's the case and pretend like we can have a 100% success rate. That's not realistic. But the vast majority of our members are doing well. And a lot of it, a lot of people are contributing some of that success to specifically the AI tool that we have that can help members identify support and resistance levels, can help them identify entries, exits, profit targets, can help them with tearing in and tearing out of positions, can help analyze news sentiment and give you guys trade ideas and identify short squeezes and identify specific chart patterns and everything else. And that's really the goal here, is to help make trading easier, simpler, and faster for you guys. And that's exactly what our AI tool does. And that's why we're able to say that we have an award-winning AI tool. So if you guys are interested in that kind of stuff, look no further. That is TTG. So again, if you guys are new to this channel, make sure you subscribe, turn on your notifications, right? Make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you never miss out on any of these live streams, because we're dropping golden nuggets on a regular basis. If you followed my live stream just for the last 2 days, you guys could have some pretty decent days. Sunday night, I did a live stream right here on this very same YouTube channel. And I had told you that I believed that the Friday sell-off that we experienced was a technical breakdown. And I said that I believed that technical breakdown was going to lead to further downside and further profit taking. And on that live stream, we identified a couple of support levels. And the one support level that we identified as our target for this week was 590. 590 to 591. Okay. That's exactly where we got to today. And the market's experiencing their first real bounce attempt today. As you guys can see, we dropped right down into, there's the CPI gap up day when you had lighter than expected CPI for December that was released in January. Then you had the low of the day when you had the Mexico-Canada tariff announcement. And then we just dropped down into that level today. And there's your low of the day today. And the markets are now trying to bounce back and recover. We dropped down to 590, 589 and change, and then bounce back up to 595 and a quarter, which is right where we currently sit. Okay. So this is the exact level that we talked about on Sunday night. Even if you were not a member of True Trading Group, you could have taken that analysis from the live stream on Sunday and then capitalized on a downward move from 602 on the SPY all the way down to 589.5. So it's no wonder that members of True Trading Group have had so far fantastic weeks, and the big catalysts haven't even happened yet. All you saw today and yesterday was follow through profit taking from a technical breakdown on Friday. You haven't had the catalysts yet. The catalysts are Nvidia's earnings and then the PCE inflation data on Friday. Nvidia earnings are tomorrow after the bell. I will be live right here with you guys for Nvidia's earnings, as the whole world is going to be paying very close attention to what Nvidia is going to say. And you've had times before in the past where Nvidia has saved the rest of the market by giving a positive earnings report. And it kind of pulled the entire market up with it while the markets were going through a pullback or some type of digestion. You've had Nvidia save the day before. I don't know if Nvidia saves the day again. I don't know if we're going to save the day again. I think that there's a lot riding on this earnings release. I don't know if Nvidia's earnings are going to be good or bad. I'm not here to make a prediction on what I believe their earnings are going to be. So if you're looking for me to try to give you some type of a futuristic prediction of what Nvidia's earnings are going to be tomorrow, this isn't the channel for you. I don't predict the future. I look for probability, and I play that probability over and over again. That's what being a good trader is really all about. It's not about predicting the future. When you try to predict the future, you're going to get yourself into trouble. That's how you're going to have large losses on instances when you are wrong. And it just doesn't make sense, because you're basically just flipping a coin. I like to play probabilities, not 50-50s. If I wanted 50-50s, I would go ahead and I would just go to Vegas and I would just put my money on red or black. That's not what we do here. This is real life. This is real money. These are real people's lives. And we take it very seriously here at True Trading Group. We maintain a very high quality chat room during the day. We do not tolerate people that are trying to be disruptive and distracting from our members accomplishing their goal. There are thousands of people at any given moment that are inside of our chat room at any given time. There are even more thousands that come in and out of the chat room throughout the day on a unique basis, being that we have 10,000 members. So we don't tolerate anyone that's going to be, jeopardizing the quality of that chat room and distracting our members from achieving what they're here to do, which is to make money. And again, I mentioned to you guys before that our members are successful. Our members are making money. You shouldn't just believe me because I say that to be true. You should believe that because that's what our members actually say to be true. So let me just ask real quick, members, if you guys are making money because of True Trading Group and you're becoming better traders, please do me a favor, go ahead and type the number 1 in chat right now. Those of you that are making money, you're becoming better traders, you're a member, go ahead and type the number 1. The people that are on this live stream that are not members, and I'm going to get to earnings in just a moment. The people that are not members should pay very close attention to just how many people that you see here type the number 1. Because these are your friends and your family members and your coworkers, and if they can do this, then so can you. All right. So there we go. All right, let's just get things on over to the charts. And let's go over some of the earnings that we just got hit. They just came through. The one that I want to really talk about here the most is going to be Cava. Okay. The one I really want to focus on here is Cava, because this is a stock that I own. I own it from significantly lower prices, but this is a stock that I own, and it's a stock that I'm going to be buying more of. I think that Cava has an incredibly bright future. I think that Cava has the potential to do something similar to what Chipotle did over the last decade. Cava is a regional brand. And I think there's a lot of growth potential for them to become a national brand and then eventually maybe even a global brand. Now that expansion is going to take a lot of time, and that expansion will come with growing pains. When you go through, massive expansions, there's issues with, investments and, slip ups in profit margins and everything else, and not getting the return on capital that is being spent on those expansions right away, especially as you go through, economic cycles of strong consumer and a weak consumer and everything else. But I think that Cava is basically just Chipotle with Mediterranean food. That's basically what Cava is. We know the business model works because of Chipotle. The food is fantastic. I've never heard anybody complain about Cava. Every time you go to a Cava, I have some in my area. You guys might not have them in your area, but every time I go to a Cava, it's packed. There's always people in there. I personally like the food and the product, so I own the stock. And you just had earnings, and the earnings actually were good. I just think that the valuation on Cava got so incredibly out of whack up there around 140 and 150 that it just didn't make sense for the stock to be trading up there. And then I feel that same exact way with Palantir. Palantir was extremely expensive at 100, 110, 120. Palantir was actually the most expensive stock in the S&P 500, not from share price, from actual fundamental valuation and earnings and multiples. It's the most expensive stock in the S&P, or it was. I don't know if it still is now after this recent decline, but up at 110 and 120, it was the most expensive stock in the S&P. Cava was also incredibly expensive when this thing was up around 130, 140, 150. So expensive to the point where it just didn't make any sense to buy the stock at that valuation, because it just wasn't justified. Now that these stocks have come back into, back down to earth, they've come back down to reality. Those are two companies specifically that I own in my long-term portfolio that I absolutely love, and I'm going to own for a very long time. And now that those stocks are starting to pull back, I'm not thinking to myself, oh no, the stocks are going down, should I sell them? I'm thinking to myself, thank God, finally, these stocks are coming back down to earth. They're coming back down to a realistic valuation. They're coming back down to a real price point that we can go ahead and now I can start to maybe buy more and add and build a position. Because I only bought Cava once, and it was last year. I bought Palantir twice. I'm up a lot on both. I'm up way more on Palantir than I am on Cava, but I want to own more of these stocks. So when you have companies and you have stocks that you like and that you love, you don't panic when they go down. You say to yourself, okay, I believe that in 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, 10 years from now, this company is going to be bigger, better, more profitable than it is today. And if you feel that way, you take money that you don't necessarily need right now, because I don't care if I buy Cava at $92 and it goes to 80. I don't care, because I'm not buying it at 92 thinking that it's going to go to 100, right? I'm buying it because I think that in 7 years, the stock can be at 400, right? That's why you put your money into a stock for the long term. There's a very big difference between actively trading and investing for the long term and holding on to positions for several years. So let's go over the earnings from Cava. And I'll tell you what I think about Cava. I'll tell you some price points that you can look to buy Cava, because for me, there are 3 different prices that I will be a buyer of Cava. And I'll go over those prices with you guys here. And let's talk about their earnings first. They did miss on earnings per share, but they beat on sales. Their guidance was also pretty good. Okay. Earnings per share was 5 cents. That's against analyst expectations of 6 cents. Sales were 225 million. That's a beat against 223.5 million by the analysts. You had a 21% increase in same store sales when analysts were only expecting 17. That is fantastic. That tells you that customers are coming back to the store. All right. You also had them say that they see 2025 same store sales growth between 6 and 8%. They're talking about expanding by 60 to 65 new stores in 2025, which is, I think, a realistic expansion pace. What gets me nervous is when you have a company that wants to go through, is going through a growth and an expansion phase, and they try to grow too quickly. That makes me nervous. So I wanted to hear, what does the company think about their expansion plans? Because that's why the stock was so incredibly expensive in the first place, because the growth rate was very high. And when growth rates are very high, people pay a higher valuation for that growth. But that's how stocks get overvalued, and that's how they get expensive. And then the slightest little hiccup or disappointment makes that stock come in pretty aggressively and pretty heavy. So if you want high growth, you have to deal with the volatility that comes along with it. Cava is a high growth name. Palantir is a high growth name. You're going to have to deal with the volatility that comes along with it. If you want a stock that could go up hundreds of percent in a calendar year, in 1 or 2 years, which Cava and Palantir both did, then you better be able to sit in a 25 or 30% pullback in the stock as well. If you do not want a 30% pullback, then you need to go ahead and buy things like Pepsi, Johnson & Johnson, McDonald's, Home Depot, some of the slower moving, Altria. These are some of the companies that you need to be looking at, Chevron and Exxon, companies that are smaller, that are not going to be as volatile, but those companies are also not going to go up hundreds of percent in a calendar year. You're lucky if you get that stock to go up 15 or 20% in a calendar year. Okay. So there's a give and take. If you want the reward of the high flyers, you have to also deal with the pullback of the high flyers. And as Cava pulls this back in, I think their earnings were good. Cava's management team, and I didn't know this until one of the analysts was just speaking about it. Apparently, Cava's management team is one of the most conservative management teams when it comes to guidance in the entire restaurant space. So all of your restaurants, if you look at Chipotle, you look at Shake Shack, right? You look at all of the other restaurants that are out there that are in the restaurant space. They say that Cava, their management team, is usually the most conservative when it comes to guidance, which I like that. I like that they're conservative when it comes to guidance, because I think that conservativeness will also bleed into their fiscal responsibility and less likelihood that they're going to overspend their way into that growth, and they're going to stumble and their margins are going to suffer. I also think it leaves the door open for them to be able to beat earnings expectations more easily. And that's when you can get a situation where they beat on earnings, but the guidance is not too excessive. And that'll leave you with steady price action and steady movement rather than like the wild swings. And I think that with this sell-off, stock's down 8% today. It's down a lot over the last 2 weeks. All of your growth names got hit very hard, including Cava. I think this is a spot that you can buy some shares. I really do. $95, I think, is a good support level. It used to be resistance. You pierced into it now with this earnings drop. If you do not own Cava at all, I think 95 is a decent spot to take a nibble. Saving some dry powder in case you see the 70s. The 70s is a large purchase for me. Okay, I will show you guys right now the support level that we're looking at. This used to be a resistance level back in May, June, and July. And then you had the huge earnings gap up, right? You broke through that level in August, and then you had monster earnings, and the stock absolutely exploded. This huge gap up in August, and the stock shot up to 125. Then you had another huge earnings blowout, and the stock beat earnings and gapped all the way to 170, and the stock has then sold off ever since. The valuation up here when the stock gapped up to 170 made absolutely zero sense whatsoever. And then now you're getting the pullback. So now you've pulled back into this area that used to be resistance. That is a support zone. If you don't own anything, I think this is a decent spot to take a nibble. Then as we continue looking, your next support level is going to be down here. I mean, there's support in between. You have like a support level here at 85. 85 is also a support level. Okay, so if you technically want to break this up and add support levels, I can give you 4 support levels instead of 3. But I would say that the 71.5 is a bigger support level than the 85, but nonetheless still a support level. So here's one support, 95, second support, 85, and then here is the support level at 71.5 to 75. Just call it the low 70s, right? Where this used to be a little pivot top resistance in March. Okay, then you finally broke above it. And then you pulled back in during the Japanese yen carry trade blow up. That was the August 5th pullback. It stuck that bottom and exploded. I actually bought Cava on this day at like $72. Okay, so I actually bought Cava. Oops, sorry, trying to choose the right drawing tool. I actually bought Cava on this day. I forgot what my price is. It's like the low 70s. It might have been 73. Something like that, 72 and change, 73, somewhere like that is where I bought Cava last. Okay, that was right there on August 5th. So that's a support level. And then after that, the absolute no-brainer back up the truck is going to be that previous all-time high that was broken here in 2024. And then you can see support, and that gives you, whatever, call it $60 or $58.50. Now, I don't think you actually get down to here. I wouldn't just sit back and wait for the stock to get to here. I'm just telling you that these are the price points that if these price points are reached, then I buy some shares. Okay, so I think you have a spot here. This is support 1, support 2, support 3, support 4, and I'm going to be a buyer of Cava, okay, inside of that range. I'm going to add to my long-term position as I believe that Cava has a very bright future. You guys have to realize, though, that just right now, the markets are experiencing a bit of a growth scare. Okay, people are a little worried about, the consumer starting to dry up. You got really low consumer confidence numbers today. Inflation's proven stickier than people thought. The Fed's not going to be cutting rates this year is what it looks like. And people are sitting here saying, all these people are losing their job within the government. Are they going to be able to find a job? All these people that are getting kicked out of the government here, they're all losing their jobs. Are they going to be able to replace those jobs? That answer is yet to be seen. Are we going to start to see upward pressure on the unemployment rate? Is inflation going to work its way back down? Is the Fed going to cut rates? Are they not? Like, these are the things that people are starting to get concerned with. Steve Cohen, he came out and said that he thinks he's revising his US GDP number. His expectation was 2.5% GDP for 2025. He's now revising it down to 1.5. So there's a growth scare that's happening in the markets right now. And that's why your high growth stocks are trading to the downside as aggressively as they are. But I still like Cava. I still own Cava. I'm not selling Cava. I am going to be adding to my Cava position. Okay, I want to make that very, very clear. Dave says, I took Tesla and Reddit trade, got stopped down on Reddit, but almost a 300% gain off of Tesla from the open. Mike's Tesla words of wisdom from pre-market. Very nicely done, Dave. A 300, trade of the day today was Tesla to the downside. Tesla puts, Tesla short, whether you trade equities or options. That was trade of the day today. We talked about it in the pre-market. It was one of the top trade ideas coming into the day. Nice to see Dave ripping off a 300% gain on those put options. Congratulations there with Tesla. Love to see that. Congrats, congrats, congrats. All right. Let's also touch on some other earnings. We had FSLR. The stock's actually starting to recover a little bit. Stock initially traded to the downside, is now recovering. And let's talk about it. I'll get to that in just a second. How do you think Nvidia is going to react to earnings if it beats? I'll get to that in a second because I actually think that the guidance for Nvidia is a lot more important, and specifically the demand for their higher end chips, I think, is going to be the most important part of Nvidia's earnings. I don't think that their actual earnings is as important as the guidance is. So yeah, but there's a situation at hand where Nvidia can beat earnings, but if their guidance comes in light or they hint towards softening demand on their high-end chips, that stock's going to go down, even though they beat earnings. So we'll talk about that in just a moment. But let me get to some of these other earnings. And we think we have some news out also with SMCI. I think SMCI might have just came out with their filing. That stock just popped. Today was the deadline for SMCI to come out with their filing, and it looks like that may have just happened because the stock just popped. So let's actually get to FSLR earnings here first. They took legal action against Jinko Solar, alleging infringement. That's interesting. Jinko Solar, I haven't heard that name in a very long time. They also partnered with Talon PV, entered a licensing agreement for tunnel oxide passivated contact cell manufacturing patents. I have no idea what that means. And here's the earnings. They missed on earnings per share big. $3.65 versus $4.71 was the expectation. Sales were a beat, $1.51 billion versus $1.47 billion. And they see 2025 sales of 5.3 to 5.8. Analysts were expecting 5.5, so that's right in line with guidance. So, right in line with analyst expectations. So it is a miss on earnings per share, a beat on sales, and an inline guide. And that leaves you with a very uneventful earnings release. As you can see, the stock is flat on the day. So nothing really cooking there. The stock has also been beaten up a lot over the last couple of months. And that's an earnings support that's not terrible. And it's also a major support level that the stock is reaching. So you guys can see we just traded down into the mid 140s. And if you take a look, back here from 23 and 24, the mid 140s is a really big support level there. Low 140s, a really big support level there for FSLR. You just dipped into it on earnings. It just held, and now you're just recovering. Makes sense because it's a huge support level from a technical standpoint. And you have, from a fundamental basis, that earnings support's not terrible. It's not bad. It's not great. It's just, maybe it's enough to just pull some buyers in against this support level because this is a huge support level for FSLR. Okay. You guys can see all the way back here. If you follow me all the way back to the left, you go back to 2022, you can see that pivot top. You broke above that, pulled it in, then it became support. Then you dropped back down into it in 2023 and 2024 became support. You dropped back into it now again, became support. So I wouldn't be the least bit surprised to see a little bit of a bounce there on FSLR as their earnings are not terrible. All right, let's take a look there at SMC. Oh. Quick check on SMCI. Man, this stock is really volatile right now. All right, yeah, guys. So there's SMCI. This thing is really whipping around. You went all the way to 54.5. Now you're back down to 49.5. I got to be honest with you guys. I think there's better things to trade. I think that SMCI is all over the place. I think it's too crowded of a trade. I'm being honest with you. I think it's too crowded of a trade. Today was the deadline for them to make their filing. They came out with their filing, and now the stock popped. Went all the way to 54.5, now back to 49.5 after the stock was trading at 44. I just think it's such an incredibly crowded stock. I don't know why, but every single person on social media is talking about this stock. Everybody's talking about this stock, and I don't know why. I really don't know why. I don't know what everybody's obsession is with SMCI. Probably just because it made this epic run in January and February of last year, and that just got everybody's attention onto SMCI. But I hate their management team, and their management team are a bunch of, and they're little, I don't know, little fugays, man. You can't trust them. You can't trust them. They've had issues in the past with transparency. They almost got delisted a few years ago because of those issues. Then you have this whole issue with Ernst & Young leaving as their auditor and claiming, lack of transparency and manipulation with their financials. I just don't trust the management team, and I can't put a stock in my long-term portfolio if I can't trust what the management team is doing and I can't trust what the management team is saying. I don't care if the stock goes back to $100. There's plenty of other stocks, that are out there, stocks that are in my portfolio that can go up 100%. I just don't trust the company. And until that changes, it's not going to have a place in my long-term portfolio. I also never bought it I traded the stock last year. We traded it this year. I'll trade it. I'll trade anything, right? I'm talking about, though, from a long-term portfolio, like an investment standpoint. I'll trade anything, but to hold something long-term, I got to like it. I got to like the company. I got to like the management team. And I just don't like SMCI. I don't like their management. I don't like the fact that like half of the revenue comes from one customer. That's not a good thing. How's that a good thing? It's not. So I just think there's too much funny business going on. Where there's smoke, there's fire. I don't trust them. And at least for now, if that changes, I'll let you know. But I do not have SMCI in my long-term portfolio. I also do not have any intentions on putting it in my long-term portfolio. That may upset some people because for some reason there's like this cult following on SMCI, like there was on like an AMC. And when I had mentioned about selling SMCI like a week ago, somebody on the live stream got so upset with me about it. They're like, "Oh, you're crazy." I'm like, "What are you so upset about? I have my opinion." Like, I have my opinion. And you do whatever you want. It's your money. It's my money. You do what you want with your money. I'm going to do what I want with my money. So it is what it is. But yeah, that's SMCI. That is SMCI. Let's also hit on now Instacart. They came out their earnings and the stock is getting shellacked. Okay, Instacart is getting shellacked. Let's hit on the earnings. What do we got? 53 cents earnings per share. That is a big beat against 39-cent expectations, but a miss on sales. 883 million versus 891 million. They reported mixed Q4 results, a big earnings miss, and orders only grew 11% year over year, which is under the competition. When you look at companies like DoorDash and Uber, they saw a little bit of a better growth, and that's got Instacart trading down 11% on the day. Not a stock that I really look at much. I got to be honest with you. I don't really look at Instacart much. It's not a good day trading stock. The liquidity is pretty low, and the range of the stock, the daily range is very, very small. Not usually a stock that I would consider trading. However, you are coming into a nice support level. If you guys want to own this stock, it's not a bad spot. Could do so in the low 40s. I have no intention of putting this in my long-term portfolio. I do own Uber. I do like Uber. I don't own Instacart. But if you want to own it, you can't help but say the low 40s is a nice support level. Then we have Workday. Workday is one of the software names that we like. We do like Workday. And Workday right now trading up 5.5% after they just reported earnings. Let's go through those numbers. They beat on earnings per share and they beat on sales. $1.92 versus $1.78, $2.21 billion versus $2.18 billion. And that's got that stock popping up 5%. Keeping it in the software space, I don't think there's really much to do with Workday. Workday, you just have massive resistance up around 310. You can see the huge double top from 21 and 24. It's a really kind of a choppy looking daily chart. There's not really much here. But I do think that you have a gorgeous support level here at 235, and it looks like that support level is stepping it up. You can see this uptrend support line now as you're almost forming like this little bit of a wedge, as it looks like this support level here is stepping up. So I do think that the path of least resistance is to the upside, but I think you just got to be real careful once you get up into this region, because that's going to be this double top all-time high. Eventually, I think the stock does break that all-time high, just not anytime too soon. I think it might take a little while. We also have Intuit, which is another software name that we do like, and another software name that has a massive double top that you have to be worried about. All right, 2021 high, 2024 high, 715. There it is. Massive double top. Intuit right now trading to the upside. We'll go over to the 3-minute, take it inside. Stock's up 3.5%. I'll give you guys the numbers. Big beats across the board. Earnings per share 332 versus 258. Sales 4 billion versus 3.83. And here's their guidance. This is very interesting. I have no idea. Either this is a typo or I have absolutely no idea why Intuit is trading to the upside. Because if this is not a typo, this is a massive miss on their guidance. So there's got to be something else. I have to read through the earnings report. There's got to be something else to this. This is a really bad guide, unless this is a typo. They see revenue of 18.16 to 18.34 billion. Analysts were expecting 20.5 billion. They see earnings per share of $19.16 to $19.36. Analysts were expecting $22.13. That is a massive miss on guidance. Massive. Okay. I'm going to have to look into that and get back to you guys, because I do not know why the stock will be trading up on such a horrific guidance number, unless that is a typo. And it happens. Sometimes the news feeds, sometimes you get incorrect numbers and they issue a correction a couple minutes later. It is possible, but that is something that is a definite head scratcher. Then we have AXON, just going through the earnings here with you guys. AXON. This is going to be an aerospace and defense name. This stock's up, trading up 11.5%. Not a stock that a lot of people know about or a lot of people really follow, but it's popping, it's moving. So let's talk about it. Big beat, $2.08 versus $1.40 on the earnings per share. Sales $575 million versus $566 million, and a nice guide. And they are looking at 2.55 to 2.65 billion. Analysts were just expecting 2.55. So they're guiding slightly higher than the analyst expectation, and that's got Axon trading to the upside, up 12.5% now. All right. So there you go. So none of these companies are really significant enough to move the overall market. The overall market really hasn't budged from the close. Not too much action going on right there. But tomorrow is going to be a completely different story. Tomorrow is going to be, I absolutely believe the index is going to move after the close tomorrow. You're going to get Nvidia, Salesforce, and Snowflake. And the reason why tomorrow is so important is not just because of Nvidia. Nvidia is going to give you a look into AI on the hardware side. So Nvidia is going to give you AI on the hardware side. Salesforce and Snowflake, but mostly Salesforce, is going to give you a look into AI on the software side. So you're going to get both ends of the AI kind of spectrum tomorrow. And I think that's going to have a real big, major impact on all of your tech stocks, the NASDAQ, obviously the tech sector of the S&P, which is by far the largest market cap rated sector in the S&P. I think it's like 36% of the entire S&P 500 is made up just by the one technology sector. So that is something I do think is going to move this market. If you ask me whether or not that 590 support level on the SPY is going to hold, I think that it's It really is up to earnings tomorrow. I think today's price action was constructive enough that the markets take a breather tomorrow. We had a 3-day profit-taking sell-off from Friday. The 3-day move is complete. You got down to a key support level. You got down to a key moving average. You bounced off that level. You held that bounce. I think tomorrow, before the earnings report, you might see a candle that looks something like this. Okay, I think tomorrow you might see a candle that looks something like that. All right. And then you just wait and see what happens with Nvidia, what happens with Salesforce. And that's going to determine whether or not I think this level breaks. And if this level breaks, just get ready, hold on, because I think you're going to go right down into the low 580s if that level does break. Just like we had said, and again, if you guys were following the YouTube channel, just like we had said, if the SPY were to take out 599, we would probably drop into the low 590s. Okay. That's what we had said on the live stream on Sunday night. And that's what we said on the live stream yesterday. So just like I said then, if you get underneath this 590, and it's really like 589, you get underneath 589, 590, then you are most likely going to fall back down into these bottom area levels that are going to be in like the low 580s. Okay. And that'll take you into the election gap fill. And then the pivot low, right? So here was the election gap, right? So we filled and closed that gap there in early January. It held and we rallied to the all-time high. So that's going to be a key support level. But in the meantime, you have this yellow line, which is the 200-day moving average working its way up. So give it a couple of days. By the time you work your way down here, then that the 200-day moving average could have time to work its way up. And that's going to give you a big support level down there in like the low 580s, high 570s. And I would say that becomes the target. If you break underneath 589, probably takes maybe a week or two to get there, but I think that becomes the target. And then what would lead you into that would be the disappointing earnings from the likes of Nvidia. And Nvidia being, one of the top 3 largest market caps in the index. You fluctuate between Apple, Nvidia, Microsoft, and they basically just, bounce back and forth, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. But if you get a significant downward move in Nvidia, it's going to pull things down with it. Okay. Mike, is it too late? Would you mind talking about the Tesla trade? I was curious. Yeah, I'll talk about I'll talk about the trade Tesla today. Also, I'll talk about Reddit also. These were, the kind of trades from today. Tesla was trade of the day. Members absolutely destroyed this thing. This is one of the top ideas coming into the day. And what's the thought process behind it? What was the game plan? I'll just explain. You had a key support level here, okay, that we had rolled back down into. And when Tesla, the thing about Tesla is when Tesla has momentum and when Tesla picks a direction, it really goes. It really, really goes. And it's tough to stand in the way of that momentum because once this thing picks a direction, it usually goes further than people initially kind of anticipate. So once we got back down and double bottomed, okay, on this previous little pivot low, yesterday's low here, I'll just show you. Here's the double bottom, right? There and there. So yesterday's low, and there is this brief little pivot low where we tried to bounce off of. That level is not just made up out of thin air. That is this previous gap. See this gap up? That's that gap fill. And then you guys can see that here was a zone of support. So it's gap fill, support, and then support, support. And we said if that level breaks, there really isn't a lot of structure here. Like you guys can look right here. There's really nothing here. So you kind of, if that level breaks, you kind of then fall into this air pocket where if the stock has momentum, it should be able to accelerate to the downside. And that's exactly what you saw happen today. That's how you saw Dave's comment earlier on the live stream. Dave pulled out a 300% gain on the put options from Tesla. So I'll take you to a 3-minute chart just to show it. So here's the 3-minute chart. There is the prior day's low, right? And just once that level broke, and the volume was just huge. You want to talk about, indications of momentum. Look at the volume bars on the break of that level. And it was just get yourself in, ride that wave to the downside. You can look at the size of these red volume bars, massive volume to the downside. Just a huge volume day for Tesla as the stock just continued to sell all morning. Look at these volume bars. Are you kidding? Look at these massive volume bars on that sell-off in the morning once that level broke. And that's Tesla. That's the momentum, right? This thing is really getting beaten up. I still think there's more room to the downside. I think you got to start targeting like the 280, 275, I think is going to be where Tesla eventually kind of finds its footing. And to be honest with you, I think that's a spot you can probably buy some shares in the long-term portfolio. I'm probably going to be a buyer of Tesla into that region right here. This is a weekly chart now that I just took you to right there. I'm a buyer of Tesla right there in the long-term portfolio. Okay. So that's what I'll be looking for there for Tesla. I don't look at Tesla as an electric vehicle company. You also had a catalyst today on why Tesla was weak. They came out with their numbers in Europe and they were terrible. Huge decline year over year on sales in Europe. And that also gave you like the little push that it needed. It was the domino effect and the momentum just took off to the downside. Okay. So that was that. Well, we'll talk about Reddit. Reddit did hold the very bottom of this support level. Just wasn't a very convincing bounce, wasn't a convincing bounce. You got a nice hammer tail yesterday at a major support level. The whole market sold off today. So it was any long in the morning was going to have a very tough time working out. Once those lighter than expected consumer confidence numbers came out at 10 o'clock, the market just rolled it over and they just really didn't look back. And that took Reddit back down into this support level rather than sticking what is a hammer tail off of major support. That is a confirmation long signal. Okay. So whenever you see a hammer tail like that against what is a major support level, that's a long signal for you to look for, okay, let's go long. You use that support level as a stop and look for the stock to bounce and recover back to the upside. You would have been fighting the trend there, obviously in the morning with the big sell-off that the markets had. And once the markets let go, it just, you would have a tough time just holding on to long positions. And that's exactly what happened there with Reddit today. But Reddit did try and put in a double bottom here at that support level. And I still think it's a decent long for potential bounce back. You just need the market to recover. Reddit is one of those growth stocks. Okay. So Reddit got hit over the last, 2 weeks or the last couple of days, like all the rest of these growth stocks, like Cava, like Palantir, Reddit, Robinhood, right? These are all your AppLovin. Like these are all of your momentum names. They all got hit very, very hard over the last week. So you need that pressure to alleviate, and then you can get a nice snapback. I still think that Reddit probably bounces back into the 170s. I think this is a good enough support level. We just need the market to move higher. So if you get a situation where if Nvidia and Salesforce beat on earnings, okay, if they beat on earnings on Wednesday, you could be looking at Reddit back up in the 170s. You just need the whole market to get pulled back, and you need some dip buys to come into some of these high growth names to move these stocks back to the upside. Cava's bouncing right now. Cava's back above that 95. This is why I said to you guys that that's a good spot to buy some shares of Cava. If you guys went ahead and grabbed some, congrats. I mean, it's already back up to 97. I told you guys this thing was at 92, that I felt like that was a decent spot. But again, that's just for the long-term portfolio, nothing crazy. And the next spot is going to be around 75. So like 95 and then 75. Those are the buy points that I would have there for Cava. If you guys don't own it, it's a decent spot to take a nibble around 95 and then save some powder in case you get into the 70s. That would be a big purchase if you get back into the 70s. For me, that's my opinion. That's what I'm doing with my money. You guys obviously do what you like with yours. Okay. So there you guys have it. So that's the analysis there. That is the analysis that we've got there today on all of these earnings. And there's some of the trades from today. And I just think there's a lot riding on tomorrow. I expect a little bit of a cool off day in the markets tomorrow. I think the markets tomorrow might take a little bit of a breather. And then we will look for direction after Nvidia and Salesforce earnings. And that's what we're going to do. Okay. I'm curious how many people on the live stream right now are not members of True Trading Group. You want to do me a favor and just type the letters TTG. If you are not a member of True Trading Group, can you guys just do me a favor and just type TTG if you're not a member? Just want to see how many people are here that are not part of the community. Just do me a favor and just type TTG if you're not a member. Futures 101. I like the username. You got to come trade futures with us, man. The futures room is killing it. Futures room is absolutely killing it. Another big day today in the futures room. So we trade futures, we trade stocks, we trade options, we do it all. Tim, what's up? Rolando, how are you? Yes, Ryan, SMCI did file. All right, we got John, what's up? Rishi, how are you? Dot, beautiful. All of you that are typing the letters TTG, follow me real quick. If I said to you, and you can just respond with yes or no, like all the people that are typing TTG, we got On the Block, Marvin, Palmer, cool. Just answer yes or no. If I said to you, join TTG, and if you can't make back your membership fee, I'll give you back double your money. Would that interest you, yes or no? Real question, serious question. If I said, hey, try True Trading Group, join. And if you can't make back what you're going to spend on a membership, I won't just give you back your money. I'll give you back double your money. Would that interest you? Yes or no? You can be honest. Yeah, Palmer, no worries. You can be honest. If it's no, it's no. Tim says yes. On the Blockchain says yes. Rishi says yes. Marvin says yes. Cool. Here's what I'm going to potentially, yes, but I follow a few people. That's okay. John, I'm not telling you, listen, man, you don't have to. The thing about True Trading Group, Eric says yes. All right, good. So we all are in agreement. That would be a nice thing. Well, here's the deal. Very tempting, says Rolando. Here's the deal. I don't know if you guys knew this or not, but that is what we do here at True Trading Group. When you join, we have a very specific double your money back guarantee. And the double your money back guarantee is based on your P&L, not mine, not anybody else's. Because when you join True Trading Group, you're not joining to watch other people make money. You're joining so that you don't make money. It doesn't matter if you don't do day trading, Dot. We do day trading. We do swing trading. We also do long-term investing. We trade stocks, options, and futures. It is not just me. There are 8 other professional traders that are moderators at True Trading Group. Myself, used to work at Hedge Fund Trader of the Year award. You have another moderator that's been trading for over 20 years, was a former market maker at Deutsche Bank. You have everything in between. Okay, so you guys are going to get access to all of our trade alerts, our analysis, our mentorship, whatever it is. Not to mention you get access to all the tools and resources that are on the platform. Okay, here's what I'm willing to do. Those of you that just typed TTG and then said yes, that would interest you. I want you to send a text message right now to 1-888-621-2127. The phone number I'm going to put right on the bottom of the screen. Text your name, your email, and the word start. And I got something real special for those of you that are interested in joining TTG. If you can't make your membership fee back at least one time during that year of your membership, I'm going to give you back double your money. Okay, that's the deal. And when you join True Trading Group, there's no upsell for courses, right? You get access to all of that stuff when you join. All right. So you get all of our courses, you get Benzinga Pro's real-time newsfeed, Trading Views charting software, the Trade Idea Scanner, unusual options activity, options flow, dark pool data, short data, congressional trading data. All of that's included when you guys join our membership. Our refund rate at TTG is less than 2.5%. That's the only reason why I can offer you double your money back. Because if our refund rate was 15%, I wouldn't be able to give you guys double your money back. Right? True Trading Group at the end of the day is a business. It's not just me with a Discord. Okay. There's a 30-person staff here. There's myself and 8 other professional traders. We are building a fintech platform. We received the Benzinga FinTech Chairman's Award for the best AI analysis tool. Okay. You guys, again, there we are receiving the AI analysis tool. That's at the Benzinga FinTech Award ceremony in New York City in November. My business partner and I are receiving that award. We also have a signed data partnership agreement directly with the NASDAQ, where they provide us with real, true level 3 data. Okay, the NASDAQ invited my business partner and I down to the NASDAQ. We participated in the closing bell. They actually gave us a whole tour of the facility, and then they put our business name and logo on their big LED screen in the middle of Times Square to congratulate us on the data partnership agreement. Companies like Benzinga and the NASDAQ would not be working with True Trading Group if we were not a legitimate company. And to prove to you how much that we believe, okay, to prove to you how much that we believe in this platform, we offer you a double your money back guarantee when you join the community. So if you guys are serious about this, if you're interested about this, and you want access to all these things that I'm talking about, also if you have any questions, text the number at the bottom of the screen. You want to know what the membership fee is? Text the number at the bottom of the screen. We'll do something real special for those of you that are on this live stream with me today before we get into NVIDIA's earnings and everything else. And the last thing I'm going to say to you, all of the things I'm telling you are great. Yes, I used to work at a hedge fund. Yes, I received the Trader of the Year award. Yes, we have 8 other professional traders that have been doing it, that do this for a living. Yes, we have a former market maker. Yes, all of these things. Yes, we received the AI analysis tool award. Yes, all those things are true. But that's not the reason you should join True Trading Group. The real reason that you should join True Trading Group is that our members actually make money. Because at the end of the day, that is the only thing that truly matters. I'm not trying to blow smoke up your ass. I don't want you to waste my time. I'm not going to waste your time. I don't tell people what they want to hear. I tell people what I believe that they need to hear. I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to make you a millionaire in 30 days. I'm also going to tell you I cannot predict the future. I'm also going to tell you that I cannot guarantee you that you're going to be able to quit your job in 30 days. What I can guarantee you is the fairest chance of becoming successful in the market that you will ever experience in your entire life. And I can say that because I see the results that our members have. And to prove it to you, watch this. Members of True Trading Group, type the number 1 in chat right now if you are making money with TTG. It's a very simple, straightforward question. If you are making money and becoming better traders because of this community and this platform, type the number 1. Anyone that just said you're not a member and said that it would interest you for a double your money back guarantee, pay attention to how many people you see type the number 1. Because every single one of these people were in the exact same position you were in not long ago. They came on a live stream, they listened to me for a couple of months, and now they wish that they joined sooner. Chris Merrick, you said you're on the fence. Pay attention, brother. So Chris Merrick, you said you're on the fence about joining. Pay attention to how many people you see type the number 1. Guys, these are your peers. These are your friends, your family members, and your coworkers. You want to see what else is crazy? I'm going to show you one more thing that's crazy, and then I'm going to move on. One more thing. At True Trading Group, we have an annual membership, and then we have a lifetime membership. Now, the lifetime membership costs thousands of dollars. I'm about to show you how many lifetime members we have. And then I want you to ask yourself, why would someone, after becoming an annual member, why would they become a lifetime member had they not had success? If you joined True Trading Group, I want you to ask yourself, if you joined us today, let's just say hypothetically you joined today, let's fast forward to February 25th, 2026. You didn't make any money with us. Even worse, you lost money. Are you going to spend thousands of dollars more to become a lifetime member? No, of course you're not. I wouldn't expect you to, right? I wouldn't expect you to. So then why did all of these people? Guys, do me a favor. Type the letter L if you're a lifetime member, please. Type the letter L if you are a lifetime member of True Trading Group. And I'm going to leave you all with that. Ask yourself, why would this many people become lifetime members of this platform if they were not having success? When people ask me, why should I join True Trading Group? I think people are always expecting me to sell myself and explain why I'm such a good trader and this is how much money I make. And it's not what I do. Because the reason why you should not join a trading community because the leader of the community makes money. Because I got news for you, and some of you may have experienced this firsthand. Just because a trader makes money doesn't mean you're going to make money trying to follow that person. It depends on their trading style. Depends when they get in, when they get out. How do you get the alerts? How are you notified? And how quickly are you notified they're in and they're out? Do you know what the trader's going to do before they actually do it? Or do you get notified minutes after they've already entered the position, and then by the time you get in, they're getting out? Because see, at True Trading Group, I tell you and the moderators tell you where we're getting in and where we're getting out before we actually do it. These are the differences. These are the reasons why I think people should join True Trading Group. Not because I think I'm the world's greatest trader. It's because our members actually make money. And that's what you guys are here for. You're not here because you're a Yankee fan too, like me. You're not here because I have a cool painting behind me. You're here because you guys want to make money in this market. And it's the best damn market. Guys, I've been doing this 18 years. It's the best damn market environment I've ever seen. While we're on this live stream, I just told you to buy Cava. Cava's already back to $100. There you go. TGD allowed me to take their most used indicators and combine it into my own indicator on TradingView. This has helped me to profit off both penny stocks and large cap options. Nicola, that's incredible, brother. I'm super proud of you. I love it. Robert Alvarado says, before the market even opens, we get the best analysis. Bert says, my friends all ask me for stock tips since I've become a lifetime member. Bert, you got to tell your friends if they want the stock tips, join True Trading Group. Jeff says, this is the place. On the blockchain says, I'm actually here because I am a Yankees fan. Just saying. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I still don't think we're good enough. I still think we're missing a bat. I still think they screwed up relying on Oswaldo Cabrera. They messed it up. Okay. They messed it up. I feel like they're still missing. They're missing a bat, man. They really are. They're missing a bat. How many of you have renewed your membership for more than a year before becoming a lifetime member? Maybe type the number 1 there if you guys did that too. But that's what I'm saying. Send a text message right now. Those of you that are not members, just send a text message. Send a text message to us. I'll give you guys a double your money back guarantee to prove to you how much that I believe in this platform. It's there to hold us accountable, and it's there to give you peace of mind. I really don't think you need the double your money back guarantee, considering the refund rate is less than 2.5%. Okay? I really don't think so. But it's there for peace of mind. I made more than that membership price amount today on coin and Tesla put options. I'm new to options trading. There you go. They're new to options trading. They already made back more than the membership fee. It's incredible. So like I said, just text us, guys. 1-888-621-2127. Again, 1-888-621-2127. Okay? Text that number now with your name, your email, the word start. We'll get you guys hooked up. I'll tell you the price. Okay? We'll tell you the price, and then we'll go from there. All right? And you guys will have the double your money back guarantee. Simple as that. All right? But you got to do it now because we're in the process of changing our membership here at TTG. Okay? We're in the process of changing the membership. So you guys have to make sure, I'm doing this. I'm telling you to text this number because we're willing to offer you guys a certain discount before we change the membership structure. Okay? We're going to be raising the price of our membership. We have this data partnership agreement now with the NASDAQ. We have the Benzinga FinTech Award for the best AI tool. So it's time for the membership price to move higher. So before we make those changes, I'm going to give you guys one last chance. Text that number. I'm not going to advertise the discount price because I don't want everybody to know. So you guys go ahead and just text that number. How much is it? You want to find out? Text the number. Okay. I'm not going to say it because I'm giving you guys a discount. All right. I'm not going to say it here. You got to text that number. I'm giving you a discount before we raise the price. So I don't want somebody to come back to this video and be like, well, wait a second. You said the price was this. And I'm like, actually, no, it's higher. So if you want to know the price, I'm giving you a discount before we raise the price and the membership structure changes. So if you guys are interested, just text that number, 1-888-621-2127. You're going to talk to a real person and they'll answer all the questions that you guys have. And they'll give you the double your money back guarantee. So you guys don't have anything to worry about. Simple as that. All right. There you go. That's why you should join True Trading Group. Because I'm not going to blow smoke up your ass. I'm going to tell you what I think you need to hear. You're going to get access to the tools, resources that you need. You're going to get access to myself and 8 other professional traders. And our members actually do make money. And that's what matters most. That's it. Okay. So there you go, folks. 1-888-621-2127. Thanks for tuning in tonight, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Cava is now ripping 101.5. congrats on that quick little trade here on this YouTube channel. So 1-888-621-2127. You can also feel free to text that number if you guys just have any questions or if you're interested in joining. Like I said, text. We get you guys hooked up before the price goes up. I'll see you back here tomorrow. Set your reminders. NVIDIA earnings. We'll be back here to cover them live. Have a wonderful rest of your night, folks. Subscribe to the channel. Smash the like button. Turn on notifications. I will see you all tomorrow. Have a great night, folks.